Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced. This game was played in Checkmate USA in India versus USA match that happened today. With the black pieces, we have Sagar Shah, the most awaited match of all time. We have Sagar Shah playing against Levy Rozman. So this game is going to be an absolute epic one, and it happened unfortunately at a time where India has now nothing to lose, because now you're in 3-0. We have already lost the entire match, and a lot of things didn't go our way, but there is no time to mourn because you're going to have to play two more games. As far as the series is concerned, maybe we can bounce back in the second checkmate that's going to be happening in India, and we will definitely come back strong. But for now, Sagar is going to face Levy. Let's see what happens. Here f4 was played by Levy, and he did not just prepare this line, he played this line because here he asked the audience which move to play, and then audience said f4 and he went for it. Well, audience did say a4 first, so he did not go for that, so cannot give him credit for that. So here just d5, now knight to f3, we have g6, e3, bishop to g7, and just c4. Now just comes c6, knight to c3, knight to f6, and just d4. So this is the bird's opening, this is the Dutch variation. Castles now, bishop to e2 and just bishop to f5. We have castles, knight to e4, queen to b3, and here just going for this knight caps on c3, b captures, queen to b6, asking for a queen trade. If you trade, you're still fine in this position, takes, and after a4 you play knight to d7, h3, and yeah, your position is absolutely fine. There is no reason to worry about. Most likely this pawn push is going to be coming in, g4, and that bishop will have some less squares or some constructed movements most likely, and let's see where you move the bishop, and position would have been still fine. But after queen to b6, say bishop to e3 was played, and now this comes rook to e8. We have h3, h5, and in this position here, after queen to a4, queen to a6, queen to b3, queen to b6, and queen to a4 and queen to a6, both players here agreed to go for a draw. And normally draw would have been a very weird decision to go for in this format where white is the one better. But the thing is that in this here, whatever time you get, like here both players were down to like 5 minutes, and now from that they will have to continue and play another match. So let's see how that one goes. So we're gonna have to start again, and this is the 5-minute match that's going to be happening. Here we have e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and now I'm just going to be showing it from perspective of Saga Bhaiya. And here we have d4, we have e caps on d4, knight captures, bishop to b4 check, c3, and now just comes bishop to c5. We have bishop to e3, bishop to b6, and just bishop to e2. This is the Scotch game, this is the Malinois variation, and we have knight to f6, bishop to f3, castles, and knight to e5, and immediately going for this knight to d2. We have d5 now, going for the central squares, bishop to g5, c5, and he's played this very, very nicely. Sagar Bhaiya has played this spectacularly well, because hey, knight to c2 comes, and now just comes d4. We have c captures, and that pawn, bishop, and every space you're taking is going to be really annoying, and Levy is now down to actually 1 minute. So this game is going to be turning out into a bullet game, and let's see what happens here. We have knight to b4, now just comes bishop to e6, knight to d5, and we see a trade, bishop captures, e captures, and just knight caps on f3. I think instead of this knight caps on f3, you could go for this h6 in this position. If you trade here, then after queen captures, my position is going to be absolutely fine. If you go for knight to b3, then just knight caps on f3, and after queen captures, g captures, rook a to d8, I'm going to be targeting that pawn. That pawn is defended, you cannot defend that pawn. I will be up a pawn, and this position most likely will be, well, at least to say winning with the time that Levy has 30 seconds on the clock. So here after e captures, knight caps on f3 was a little bit preemptive decision, but I think it's still, fine, you can hold this position. But after queen caps on d5, bishop captures was played, g captures, and commentators did not like this move, but I really enjoyed this, because the thing is that now the g file opens up, and now you can, with the bishop already eyeing this, queen already eyeing this, I think it's going to be very much important that Sagar Bhaiya utilize this file to be able to try and go for some sort of an attack. But hey, queen to d3 was played, now just rook f to e8. If you play king to h8 right away, then rook a to d1, now you play rook to g8, rook to f1, and after rook to g7 you try to double up. Maybe your position will be fine, but they're gonna have to be very, very cautious in this position, because here moves like g3 will just completely foil your plan. You're gonna go for h5, which further weakens your position, and then that could go any way it could be. But here after rook f to e8 was played, we have rook a to d1, rook a to d8, and now just going for b3, queen to e4, and just queen to b5. Queen to d5 was played, and he most likely thought that you would go for a draw once again, then they would have to play a bullet game with 1+1 interval. But hey, rook to e6, he remaneuvers, he just maneuvers from trying to go for a 3-4 repetition, just h3, and now just comes queen to e4. If you trade queens now, then after rook captures, rook to d3, and here rook e to d8, rook f to d1, rook to d8, most likely with this extra pawn in the center of the board, yes, your pawns are doubled, but black is the one who's going to have an advantage, and most likely in time scramble you might just be able to win this, because this is going to be nuisance. So here after queen to e4, we have queen to b5, queen to c6, queen to h5, queen to d5, and queen to g4 check, but just comes king to h8. Now queen to f4 was played, because this would have come in with a tempo, and you don't want that to happen. So here now just comes rook to g8. We have rook f to e1, rook captures, and d3 was played. But the thing is that here Sagar Bhaiya completely blundered this mate in two, which is this queen captures on f6, rook to g7, and rook to e8 checkmate. But the thing is that here Levy was not able to find this because both players are playing on 3 seconds. So that's absolutely impossible to spot all of these things. Rook to d1 was played, but now just comes rook to d8. Queen caps on f6, finally finding that check, but here king to g8, rook to d2, but now just comes this bishop to a5, rook to d1 and d2. Queen to f4 was played, but in this position, the move that you want to play is maybe king to f8, and your position should be fine. After knight to e5, you play most likely this rook to e8, and there will be some checks, some annoyances, but the thing is that most likely you should be able to hold this to a draw. But after queen to f4, we have queen to d3, and queen to d3 is the one move that completely blunders the game, because now comes queen to g5 check. It hits the bishop and you're going to be losing a piece. Here king to h8 was played, queen caps on a5, immediately queen to e2 was played, but the trouble is your rook is also hanging, and here queen caps on d8 was played, king to g7, queen caps on d2, and there is nothing you can do in this position. Here you cannot resign, you have to play till checkmate. But here in this position, I mean, the time ran out for Sagar Bhaiya, and Levy was able to grab this game, not that very easily. I mean, Sagar Bhaiya played absolutely spectacular chess. He had a really nice opening, and even in that drawn game, I think if he had pushed, he would have gotten a decent opening. In the Scotch, Sagar Bhaiya was able to do spectacularly. I don't know if it was preparation or it was something that they came up on the board, because they were talking before the bullet game, so before the 5 minutes game. But the thing is that I think Sagar Bhaiya was not able to find the right ideas at the very end, because he was up on the clock. I mean, not at the time scramble, but before the time scramble, he was up on the clock. He had a better position. He should have been able to convert, but he could not convert. And again, Levy was able to clinch this victory. So yeah, again, one more game here which did not go our way at all, because most likely this game should have for most part. But the thing is that I mean, from the beginning itself, I mean, there were many games that did not go our way. I think it was not India's day, but it's absolutely fine. In the second Checkmate series that's going to be happening in India, we will have the white pieces, and definitely we will be able to clutch that and definitely crush USA. So maybe not today, but we will definitely come back stronger, and that's going to be an insane comeback. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you very, very much for watching.